What's going on YouTube? Earth Power here, bringing you another Duel Masters deck profile. But first, a few updates. Starting this Saturday is going to be the first day I'm going to be back home from college, and I'm getting with CVH and the rest of the crew, and we're going to get together and put those Duel videos together for you. I'm thinking starting Saturday, when we actually get together, I'm going to start trying to do a once-a-day upload. Just for the week, or just for over Thanksgiving break and all that, from that Saturday the 19th up until the 26th, I believe is the date. So you guys can look forward to an update every single day for a week straight. And it's kind of like my gift to you guys for subscribing and making this channel so hot so early before we actually got any content up to you guys. So I really appreciate all the support I've been getting from everybody. And this is kind of my give back. You guys can look forward to the Duel vids. I might have one or two more profiles up depending on what decks we actually use in those Duel videos. I'm going to try to get another Let's Play together before the end of next week to throw out to you guys. And any suggestions from you guys? I know I got a couple of deck profiles I've been asked to do, and a couple of single card discussions, so I'm going to try to get to that. And hopefully you guys are going to see all of that next week. So yeah, expect to see a whole bunch of uploads starting that week, or starting this Saturday. And after that week, I'm thinking I'm probably going to do a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday upload. So 3 uploads a week starting after that. My second update comes in the form of a shout out to WCNU Live. My good friends over at Christopher Newport University, Gordon Hunt, Katie Christensen, and Spencer Morgan, do a talk radio segment every Thursday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's called Mind Tricks, and they basically talk about whatever's going on. It's just really, really, really good talk radio. And if you get a chance, go over to their website. I'll post the link below. And call them up, let them know you're listening, and just... yeah, I just want to throw that out there. It's great talk radio. I've really enjoyed it the past couple of weeks, and they're really starting to take off now. So call them up, let them know you're listening, show them your support. Alright, thanks guys. Alright, so now the deck profile. Alright, this one is Cosmic Darts. It's a little bit more of an offbeat deck. It's got a different strategy to it. Let's just get to it, I'll show you what it's like. The main cards in it are going to be 4 Cosmic Darts and 4 Meloppe. Now these cards work. Cosmic Dart says choose one of your shields, or your opponent chooses one of your shields. You look at it. If it's a spell, you cast it immediately for no cost, whether it's a trigger or not. If it's a spell, you cast it. And then if it's not a spell, you don't do anything with it and you put it back where it was. Now this says that your opponent chooses, which can be a little tricky, but that's why we have Meloppe. Meloppe says, and it's a Cyberlord too, whenever your opponent would choose one of your shields, you choose instead, and whenever you would choose one of your opponent's shields, he chooses instead. You drop Meloppe, play Cosmic Darts, and you can pick any one of your shields now thanks to Meloppe, because your opponent doesn't get the chance to choose now. You choose instead, pick up one of your shields. If it's a spell, cast it. Now, this is only really good because I play the 5 13 mana spell cards: Invincible Technology, Invincible Cataclysm, Invincible Aura, Invincible Unity, and Invincible Abyss. All these cards have super crazy effects. Invincible Abyss destroys all of your opponent's creatures. Aurora takes 3 cards from the top of your deck, puts them in your shields. Cataclysm breaks 3 of your opponent's shields, sends them straight to the graveyard. Invincible Technology lets you get whatever you want from your deck and put it in your hand, however many cards you want. And Invincible Unity gives all your creatures plus 8,000 power and triple breaker. Now, the rest of the deck revolves around shield manipulation, getting your shields, or getting cards into your shields via Mana Nexus or Emeral. Basically trying to get these guys into your shields so you can set up Meloppe and Cosmic Darts and basically start using these guys for little to no cost, and then a few other finishers to finish off the game pretty much once you've crippled your opponent with these cards. So let's look at the rest of the deck. We'll go over light first. 2 Telitols, the Explorer. This card, it's a blocker for 4 mana, 3,000, and when you put it into the battle zone, you may look at your shields and put them back where you were. Put them back where they were. Now this is great because, I mean, obviously you don't know what your 5 shields are. This guy basically lets you look at them, check them out, and that way now you can use Meloppe and Cosmic Darts without really having to manipulate your shields any if you've got stuff in your shields already that you want to use. Now you know what's down there and you know which cards to pick up with Cosmic Darts to use. So Telitol's a great little, I guess, scout card, and really one of the only ones I think that lets you look at your shields that easily. I think Liquid Scope does the same thing, or maybe it's for the opponents, I don't know. But I like Telitol because it provides the blocker as well. Next is 3 Sarius, just for chump blocking, again, anti-rush card, and really just a good blocker. You can attack creatures too, because he's a light blocker, so that helps out. Next is 1 Phal Eega and 2 Forbos. These are my spell recursion cards. Once you've used one of those 13 mana spells, since I'm only running one, it's going to go to the graveyard. So Phal Eega lets you get that back to reuse it in the shields if you have a way to get it back down in there. And Forbos searches them from the deck and just makes it all around easier to get them out. I run Nature also with Soulswap, so it lets me utilize these guys even more. Put them in the mana early, and then Soulswapping them out to use their effects in order to search my deck for the big spells and stuff like Mana Nexus too, to utilize those 13 mana spells. And it also gets me Cosmic Darts too, in case I need it, so, or in case I don't have it in the hand already. And to round out light, it's 2 Holy Alls, just a good trigger. You know, shuts down the opponent's big plays and lets me swing for game with a couple of my finishers. I also run Cryptic Totem, so Holy All plus Cryptic Totem, as you saw in CVH's control build, is pretty much game winning. If you have Cryptic Totem and 4 attackers, then Holy All is going to give you the game. So now we'll get into water. 4 Emeralds, obviously. This guy's really too good for what this deck is trying to do. Emeral lets you, if you start out with your hand with one of the 13 mana spells, just go ahead and Emeral it down and pick up a new card. Basically, you know, setting the stage for the entire deck. So really, really useful here, and he gets your triggers down too as well if you need them. So, and overall, he's my go-to 2 mana. I mean, on the second turn, I want to play Emeral. So the idea is hopefully to draw into one by the second turn and win. Next is 2 Thrash Crawlers. Again, adds just a little more synergy to the deck. Lets me get back, possibly if I draw into an Emeral late game, and I've got a 13 mana spell down in the mana zone. Play a Thrash Crawler, get back the spell to my hand, then play Emeral, set the spell on the shields. So just adds a lot of synergy to the deck that it wouldn't have otherwise, and I really like Thrash Crawler. And he provides another blocker too. So this deck does really well against Rush because of all the blocking and shield triggers. So, and I just like Thrash Crawler. Next is 4 Energy Stream. I'm choosing not to play Aqua Surfer in this deck. I'd rather go more spell heavy just because of Cosmic Darts. It lets me, I can always Cosmic Darts for an Energy Stream if need be. I mean, it's not something I want to do, but it's always a possibility. And I like the ability of Stream for the +1s, and I like the draw power a lot more. The deck, with all the spell searching and mana manipulation, you're gonna kind of always have a hand, sort of, kind of. And then with Invincible Technology too, I can, if I can Cosmic Darts and Invincible Technology early enough, then I can set my hand up, hopefully for the duration of the game, and to a point to where it really can't affect me too much. Having or not having a hand isn't going to be a problem. So I like 4 Energy Streams. It just adds, again, a little more consistency and synergy to the deck. And Aqua Surfer, I just don't find necessary here. So, not for what the deck's trying to do, at least. 1 Crystal Memory. Don't know really if I want to keep this guy in yet. I've got the technology, so Crystal Memory is just kind of a, you know, search. Lets me get anything from the deck quick. It's only 4 mana, so I can do it earlier in the game if technology's not available to me. It can give me that Mana Nexus, it can give me that 13 mana spell. It can pretty much give me whatever I need in order to play out whatever I'm trying to accomplish at that time. so that's why I've got one. It comes in handy every now and then, but most of the time it ends up in mana, but it can be useful. And if it's hitting the shields, I mean, it's a trigger, so that's always good. Last water card is 3 Aqua Surfer, excuse me. Again, great shield trigger, great anti-rush, great spot removal. I just like him in almost anything that plays water. He's just really useful across the board, getting rid of potential threats for the time being, or stopping rush in its tracks. So, why I like Aqua Surfer. I think I've explained him enough in the past videos. The final civilization is Nature, and then we'll get into the multi-civ cards that I play. Run 3 Bronze Arm Tribe. Lets me get my mana up early. Again, the deck functions really, really well right around 6 mana, because that's when you can start playing Forbos and some of your bigger finishers, and start playing around with Soulswap to get pretty much whatever you need. And Bronze Arm Tribe just gets you there a little faster, adds a little more consistency to the deck, which I like, and he's just a really good nature card in general. One of the staples I would consider for anything not rush that would run nature, control, aggro decks like the one you saw with Zebrafish, and offbeat decks like this, and stuff like Survivors 2, just anything that would run nature that could use the mana boost will see Bronze Arm Tribe. Next is 3 Mana Nexus. This guy adds a lot of synergy if I want to set down the 13 mana spell early if I don't have an Emeral. Mana Nexus lets me get it into the shields later, as well as get any of my shield triggers into the shields also, such as Surfer and Holy All. So Mana Nexus just adds a ton of synergy to the deck that it wouldn't have otherwise, and is a really key card for utilizing those 13 mana spells pretty much wherever they are, whether they're in my hand, in which case I'll use Emeral, or if they're in the mana zone, in which case I'll use Mana Nexus. Next is 3 Soulswap. Staple card, and again, anything not rush. This card is just way too good. It lets me work out my Forboses, work out Phal, can get back Emeral, can play around with Thrash, and can swap in my finishers should I set them in the mana early. It's just too good of a card. Just way too good of a card. Get to the last nature card here is my first finisher, which is 2 Cryptic Totems. Again, with he adds that little bit of, if the deck isn't doing exactly what I want it to, I mean, the deck focuses around using Cosmic Darts and Meloppe to bring out those big 13 mana spells, such as using the Fire one to break all of your opponent's shields, and then get an attacker in there for the game. Cryptic Totem, just, if that fails, Cryptic Totem allows me a backup way to finish the game off. Again, when he's tapped, your opponent can't use shield triggers, and using Holy All with Cryptic Totem and 4 other attackers is game. I mean, there's no way, there's nothing the opponent can do at that point. If they have 5 shields, and you've got Cryptic Totem and 4 attackers, you're going to break them all, and you're going to swing for game. There's just no way around it. My second finisher, my other finisher, is 1 Bluum Erkis. I just like him here. He adds a lot of synergy to the deck. I mean, when he breaks shields, if it's a shield trigger spell, you cast it instead of your opponent. And if it's anything else, it's a shield trigger creature. If it's anything else, it goes to your opponent's hand. They don't get to use it. So, kind of like a Bomedius, but for light and water. And it's got the effect where instead of sending them to the graveyard, you're sending them straight to the opponent's hand. And if it's a spell, then you get to cast it. So, what's not to love? Again, I like Bluum Erkis here. He provides the mana coverage too, which is useful if you want to set him down early. And swapping him in, he's better than Cryptic Totem as to where Cryptic needs more attackers. Bluum Erkis kind of does the job on its own, kind of like Bomedius. So, really good card. Again, I just like 1 here. I don't think 2 is necessary, and I've got Cryptic as well for a finisher. So, 1 Bluum Erkis. My last 2 cards are, or not my last 2, but my second to last card is Techno Totem. Another multi-civ creature, 4 mana, 5,000 attack. When Cryptic Totem is tapped, you can tap one of your opponent's creatures, and then while he's tapped, all of your creatures get plus 1,500 power attacker. So he's really good at just shutting down most aggro decks and rush decks, and helping to clear the field. You tap Techno Totem, and then now Emeral's like a 2500 attack and can get over a lot of the weenie stuff on the opponent's side of the field. He just adds a lot of synergy. He helps me cover the field until I can get either my finishers on the board or until I can use Cosmic Darts to shut the opponent down. And then I can use Techno Totem to tap opponent's blockers and stuff like that so I can get through to the rest of the shields or swinging for game. So Techno Totem just provides a lot of synergy in that part as far as coverage on the field, and I really like him. So, and anything that runs nature and light, I think he's one of the best cards you can use in terms of field coverage. The last card is 3 Skyswords, the Savage Vizier, 5 mana, 2000 attack, kind of like a Wind Axe, except when you put him into the battle zone, you put the top card of your deck in your mana, like Wind Axe, but its second effect is that you would put a card from the top of your deck into your shields face down. Now this is really useful because say you've got no shields left, you can use Skyward Sword, or Skysword, wow, got Legend of Zelda on the mind. You can use Skysword to play him down, add a card to your shields face down, and now you've got a shield that you can manipulate using your Emeral again. Because once you have no shields, Emeral is dead, since you don't have any shields that you can put down and pick up. Or the shield that you do put down is the shield you're going to pick up. So Skysword adds that little bit of extra synergy to the deck. And again, with the mana manipulation from the top of the deck into the mana, he lets you get to that turn 6 or 7 just a little bit faster. And that's Cosmic Darts in a nutshell. I think it's 54 cards right now. I kind of want to slim it down. Hope I can get it down to maybe around like 50 or so. But we'll see. You guys will probably see this in the duel videos. I'm going to try to use this a few times, just to show you guys how it works. Because I mean, the deck as a whole, I mean, it's utilizing the Meloppe and the Cosmic Darts strategy, but the deck can function really well on its own without this strategy, anyways. So it's kind of like an added little bonus feature, and using the 13 mana spells is always fun. It's always fun to just drop an Invincible Cataclysm on your opponent and break through their shields, so for no reason. So yeah, guys, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. And hopefully I'll see you on Saturday when I start getting these once-a-week uploads, or once-a-day uploads to you. Let me know what you think, like I said, and shoot me a couple messages if there's anything you want to see, and I will get back to you and let you know. Alright guys, thanks so much. Peace.